Hi, everyone, and welcome to Magnifique, your favorite fashion education podcast. I'm your host, Gabrielle. Hey, what's up? It's been a minute. We went through a rebrand. Sure, rebrand. Welcome to season 2. Do you want to talk about the separation of church and state? So it seems in some way, shape, or form, I was, como se dice, burnt out of who's to say. But she was burnt out and maybe depressed, and, that's not for me to determine. Anyway, let's normalize taking breaks. Let's normalize missing each other. And, sorry about that abrupt one, but I'm going to be making it a regular thing. How about that? On our Insta for the new schedule. And it's not really new. You can still expect Monday, but it'll kind of be like a school year. We are going to continue to normalize breaks and we're going to part ways for the summer. This is like a no commitment type of situation. We're going to see each other for the school year and then just go our separate ways, enjoy May, June, July on our own. Let's take a break. Let's miss each other. Let's have some time to get re-inspired. How does that sound for everybody? Okay, awesome. I'm so glad you're on board. Also, love y'all so freaking much. I didn't think as many of you were invested in this as I was, but it appears when I abandoned you, you guys had questions. And you know what? That's fair, but I'm going to quickly move past it because I don't want to address it. Jesus Christ. The first episode of season 2, I wanted to discuss not just a brand, but dare I say a cultural phenomenon. It's Victoria's Secret. What's her backstory? What is all this? Was it all schemed up by a man like that one song said? Why is everybody talking about the fashion shows? Let's hold each other's hands. Go ahead and put the car in park. We're holding hands right now. And let's just get into Victoria's Secret. Victoria's Secret was founded in 1977 by Roy Raymond and his wife, Gay. Roy was inspired by multiple unpleasant trips to the department store seeking lingerie for his wife. He told Newsweek, "When I tried to buy lingerie for my wife, I was faced with racks of ugly terry cloth robes and floral nylon nightgowns." He went on to study lingerie and the market of lingerie for 8 years before launching Victoria's Secret in 1977. So essentially, Roy Raymond wanted to buy his wife some lingerie, hated what he saw, hated how he felt, and expressed that he didn't feel comfortable or welcomed in the lingerie departments while shopping for his wife. Don't you just hate when a man feels uncomfortable? So Raymond wanted to create a space that was comfortable and elegant and provided the same type of shopping experience while reflecting sophistication and style for your bras and undies. So essentially, Victoria's Secret was created for men by men to dress women, and I'm loving that so much. Really, really, mwah, chef's kiss. The first retail space was opened the same year, 1977, in San Francisco, after sourcing $80,000 from friends and family and bank loans. Following this move of purchasing a space, the persona of Victoria was created. Victoria is known as the perfect woman. She's the ideal woman. She is a sensual and dreamy character, embodying characteristics of English romance and modern feminism. The name Victoria's Secret came from Roy himself. I think he has some desires. But he wanted to emulate Queen Victoria's Victorian era and the aesthetic, the femininity, citing that Victorian boudoirs and Queen Victoria herself was the main inspiration behind the embodiment of Victoria and Victoria's Secret. And, of course, the secret portion refers to the undergarments and having a cheeky little secret under your dress. So, not only this, but the name Victoria's Secret was so delicate, which contrasted the nature of which lingerie was seen at the time. He was honestly rewriting the narrative toward lingerie. And I'm loving this progress. Keep in mind, though, that it's for a man's benefit. And I don't know how we feel. Never mind. All right, so we have the name, but now we're kind of just going to move on from Raymond. Raymond sold the company to the Limited Inc. and CEO Les Wexner. Remember his name? We don't super love him either. I don't want to say either. Raymond was fine. But he sold the company in 1982, taking the company from $7 million in earnings to $2 billion in earnings in just a few short years. And the Limited Inc. was also a parent company to Express and Lane Bryant. I love Express. She's so fun and fresh. Would do anything for her. Not anything. But post-sale and acquisition, Les rebranded to try to appeal to a more female-centered audience while still, and arguably more so, centering male pleasure. This will include upholding Raymond's 19th century English rose aesthetic with a lean into European luxury to make it more appealing to like the women's perspective. And in 1987, Victoria's Secret becomes the only retail chain to be devoted to lingerie. Now, of course, we have many others now, but this isn't 1987 anymore. Yeah, trigger warning, suicide. So skip about 10 seconds. In 1993, the founder, Roy Raymond, decided to take his life on the Golden Gate Bridge. And I know you might be thinking, why, Gabrielle? Why did he do that? Can I be honest? Only part I didn't care to look up. I just said, oh, he's dead now? Cool. I'm so sorry. So another thing Les Wexner decided to do was using Victoria's Secret angels as brand ambassadors. We'll talk more about exactly what the Victoria's Secret angels are here in a sec, but they do become icons, figureheads, spokespeople for the Victoria's Secret brand. And this occurs near the turn of the century, about 1998. CEO Les Wexner visions of Victoria was kind of shifted to fit the modern woman and the modern dream girl, and modeled his models after that. The models emulated Victoria, so a dream. The models were never meant to be realistic for the everyday woman until, eventually it did. And it became the expectation for the average woman, I would say. But voluptuous, full of curves, bombshells, just filled the runways to fulfill the modern Victoria vision. So in short, Victoria's not real. Victoria is Les Wexner's modern wet dream of a woman and is meticulously displayed on the runway and is associated with the brand and bombshell sex objects. And since sex sells, both men and women feel so drawn to Victoria's Secret to just feel sexy. Laying it all on the table right there. But spoiler alert, a company that started out for the love of a man's wife turned into an opportunity to reshape the beauty standard via marketing. And the new beauty standard is now big ol' yitties, tiny, absolutely minuscule, could fly away in the wind, everything else. And they looked amazing. I'm not going to judge. I wanted to be them growing up. But also, let's talk about the implications of big ol' yitties, because it's not all sunshine and rainbows. And girls, this part is for you. Let me know if you can relate. I can't wear anything cute due to the girls, and that makes me so distraught. I cannot believe my style is dependent on them, and normalize wanting smaller boobs. To be fair, actually, trigger warning. I've been losing weight. Not on purpose. Kind of on purpose, but not like Ozempic or eating disorders. Also, before I end this tangent, I'm going to go on another tangent. Eating disorders are back. I warned you guys in March. All over my TikTok, it's all Ozempic, which we've been new about that. Sorry, I got excited and now I'm starting to talk real fast. Eating disorders, that's where it was. But we have Ozempic, which is not new, but we have more girlies kind of like bullying themselves, which in turn is bullying other people. I have since blocked them because truly, not me, not now. King Krabby Patty on TikTok is very much self-hate motivates her and like fine, chill, but like also, hey, you're gonna influence a lot of eating disorders. And also Liv Schmidt on TikTok, she just doesn't eat. What I eat in the day to stay skinny while working a 9-to-5 job. Hey, maybe you're eating enough for a toddler, but not a 23-year-old woman. But I'm also not here to bully. But I don't think that's bullying. I think that's just, I'm concerned for you, sis. So normalize wanting smaller boobs. And to be fair, I have been losing weight and the girls are getting smaller, but can I give my God's honest truth? Not small enough. I have kind of accepted that I have an AirPod body type, but it still doesn't feel good to think about. But that's just my God-given truth and you should live yours. My ideal size, thanks for asking, is giving B. And, well, currently, the Angels were the spokespeople for the brand, and many of the Angels go on to have an incredibly successful modeling career with models like Naomi Campbell, Tyra Banks. Those girls lived on the runway. Carly Kloss was a part of the Angels. She left after the 2014 show, but then we got Barbara Palvin, Bella and Gigi Hadid, Kendall Jenner, all shining as Victoria's Secret Angels. And I decided not to dig too much into the VS Angel lore as we'd be here for 27 years, but let me know if you want like a full deep dive on all of the Angels and how they kind of branched off. Family tree style, actually. In 2002, Pink was introduced and aimed to appeal to teenagers, and Pink was that girl. I remember in high school, no one was anyone unless you had some sort of pink in your rotation. And the girlies also lived for pink perfumes. We can do an entire episode on mall perfumes, so Pink was that girl. I remember my first job in high school. I got my first paycheck and I went, not my first paycheck either. I got a paycheck, okay, from Dairy Queen. And I was waiting for my parents to pick me up from my job and I worked in the mall Dairy Queen. So I hopped and scooted all over to Pink, Victoria's Secret Pink, and I spent my whole paycheck on one shirt. Because the shirt was $80 and I was 16. And I lost that shirt, but I wore the crap out of it. It definitely got its money's worth. Victoria's Secret continues to dominate the lingerie market until 2018 when rumblings from the Me Too movement reflected poorly on the brand's CEO and CMO's practices. These concerns, as well as many others, led to the demise of the Victoria's Secret fashion show. And the Victoria's Secret fashion show was very iconic. Let's talk about it. It was an annual fashion show that was first introduced by supermodel Stephanie Seymour in 1995 as a way to display the brand's lingerie pieces at a high capacity, initially taking place the week or days ahead of Valentine's Day to start linking the brand with the most romantic time of the year. You see hearts, you think, a bra. The staple angel wings made their first runway appearance in the 1998 show in New York City. A couple of internet sources said 1995, but I literally burned my eyes off watching every single fashion show since 1995 to 2018. I saw with my own eyes. They didn't appear till 1998. I don't know why I felt the need to just justify myself, but welcome to season 2. 1998 was also the brand that the VS Angels were officially the spokespeople of the brand. I saw rumblings of 95, which was the first year of the show, but so far most sources say 98. The Angels were models contracted out to Victoria's Secret and Victoria's Secret only to be the face of the brand and consequential shows. In 1989, a tradition was started to webcast the fashion show for higher viewership. In 1999, they announced their webcast via a 72-hour broadcast countdown during a 30-second Super Bowl commercial slot. I stumbled over those words and I'm not fixing it, which rang in 2 million viewers. The fashion show broadcast hit its peak in 2001, which was also the year that they moved the broadcast from pre-Valentine's Day to late fall, early spring, just before Christmas. And I love a move motivated by capitalism. I think that's very smart on them. Makes me a little bit sad in the grand scheme of things, but YOLO. The show became known for its extravagance, from elaborate designs, impeccably talented performers, and their top-tier models, of course. It made the show a must-watch event. Unfortunately for everybody, I couldn't watch the events at the time. I just couldn't see skinny people. Jesus Christ, dude. In 2002, the show's broadcasting network shifted from ABC to CBS, where it would remain until 2018, where the show hit ABC up one last time for a final goodbye show, and we'll talk about its downfall in un minuto. The fashion show became known for showcasing big-name musicians during their show. Don't worry, I'll name a few. Of course, the first one I'm going to mention is Harry Styles. Harry Styles performed in 2017 after his debut self-titled album, Harry Styles, came out. And it was a must-watch event. I did watch that. Of course I watched that. Come on, guys. We also have Hozier in 2014 post his Take Me to Church pop-off. And in the same show, Miss Ponytail herself, Ariana Grande, performed during her My Everything era. There are also so many performers, it's impossible to name them all. Go ahead and guess the singer. I'll give you a second. I promise you they've seen the Victoria's Secret fashion show stage for a little musical number. Shawn Mendes, Taylor Swift, Rihanna, Bruno Mars, anyone. All of them. The last show took place in 2018. The cancellation of shows came after the continual decline of both ratings and revenue. Many factors went into the brand's decline. Many were also influenced by the Me Too movement and fourth wave feminism. With the brand's CEO, Les Wexner, he was shown to have some association with Jeffrey Epstein and Harvey Weinstein, as well as the brand not wanting to diversify their Angels portfolio to cater to more diverse body types also pushed VS to their downfall. The company's chief of marketing, Ed Razak, being quoted marking insensitive comments about casting trans and or plus-size models in his show to keep its fantasy alive. And then good news, Ed Razak has since resigned from his position. Goodbye, so long, you're not missed. The Victoria's Secret brand officially decided to step away from fashion shows as a marketing strategy and move into digital marketing since the decline and the discontinuation of the shows in 2018. They had a little rebrand in 2023, broadcasting on Prime the Victoria's Secret fashion show titled The Tour 23. So that was their little version of the fashion show last year. It looks like the show is set to come back in full swing this fall 2024. There is no set date, but go ahead and block out your GCals for all of fall just in case. I took the liberty of sourcing all 23 VS fashion shows and watched them all for you. Don't worry, I did a little research for the podcast you're listening to right now. Let me just say, old VS 8, those outfits, that lingerie, killing it. I I would like to source some vintage VS. I'll say it. In my oh so humble opinion, modern VS wishes that she could do what old VS did. This is not a unique opinion. I'm so obsessed with the signature pink and black stripes. It's so slay. I want all of it. I'm in my pink era, by the way. I have been just loving pink more and more recently. I think it's just because, who's to say, really? But I'm in a robe right now, which is pink. I'm in my robe era as well. I don't leave this thing. I got it on sale. I was just contemplating whether I wanted to tell you where I got this from. I got it from Brooklyn and it was on sale. It was clearance. It was like $40, but it is now my favorite thing in my home. Okay, so that's the show. Let's talk about the societal implications because we got to run it back to the Angels real quick. They were the prettiest, most thin girls you could find. Angels were known to follow a very strict diet and fitness regime and still struggled to uphold the image. The photos and marketing campaigns were also notorious for being photoshopped with waists being shrunk into thin air and leaving imperfections nowhere to be found. Now, why does this matter? Why do we care what the models are doing if I'm also not following it? I'm so glad you asked. People were following it. I was following it. The amount of YouTube what I eat in a day that I watched for this. Yeah, we have to talk about it. I was 14. Sorry, I'm trauma dumping on you again. People were being exposed to unrealistic expectations of beauty from a very young age, distorting what bodies should naturally look like. Also, setting one standard of beauty as mentioned, the company's CEO was uninterested in incorporation in other versions of beauty. So, hey, the world has about 27,000 versions of beauty. We're only going to cast one because it's what I want to see. This is just opinion, and it just falls into pink and Victoria's Secret, but I think that the implementation of the brand pink was evil IMO, marketing to teens to get them into stores, which were right next to the actual VS, exposing them to these beauty standards at such a young age. Teen girls who are now looking at the Victoria's Secret Angels for workout routines and diets to look like them, skincare routines. Skincare routines are fine, and like hair routines, whatever, but oftentimes leading them to disordered habits and sometimes full disorders. Hey, you get it. But I think it's important, and I don't think that they intentionally did that, but that was a side effect. Thank you, Pink. I think it's important that we don't actually blame the brand itself because I truly think that they were just dumb. But we should recognize the societal implications that it did cause. Hey, you didn't mean it, but you did do it. Anyway, it seems like we don't love Victoria's Secret right now. Let's talk about what's next for them. At present, the Victoria's Secret brand is working to rectify past controversies by focusing on a more diverse portfolio when marketing their product. They intend to relaunch their iconic VS fashion show this fall. But crickets at this time about who, what, when, where. Everyone is on the edge of their seat wondering what's in store for this show. Yes, we can watch it together and discuss our thoughts. I'll make it happen. We can follow me on Insta and we can gossip there. I think I can confidently say that as a girly pop, nothing brings me more joy than gossiping. It is one of my favorite pastimes, and I'd love to join hands with all of you and just gossip. We won't be talking shit. We're not going to be mean to people, but we are just going to gossip. And I think there's a very important distinguisher difference. I don't know. I'm full of brain rot. But let's all hold hands and gossip about being girlies and what Les Wexner did to us. In closing, Leslie Wexner committed the biggest rise and fall ever, and Victoria's Secret really could have been that girl for me. But instead, I've been bouncing around from bra company to bra company, finding something I inevitably hate. And I hope you liked talking about bras for the past 30 minutes because it's made me kind of sad because now I don't know where to go for bras. I really don't know. But Who's to say? Let me know your favorite bra companies. Thank you for listening. I'm so happy to be back. We are in for one heck of a ride. Please follow us on Insta, both my personal Insta at Gabrielle Forshame. I did get married, but Gabrielle Gonzalez was taken on Insta, so we're still Gabrielle Forshame. And follow the Magnifique Pod on Insta at Magnifique Pod. All of those links will be down below in the episode notes. I hope to see you back next week. We are so back, We're so back. I hope to see you back next Monday. Love y'all. Mwah.